Hello there, good evening, guys, and welcome to the marketplace with Uchonochie this lovely Monday evening. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your day has been great, as mine has been great. It's a new day, new week, and also new things are coming. Can you imagine? I think this is the last week in April, and the year is just running. But to those that have chosen to seek knowledge and understanding, we will always be on top and will always be ahead because we have the right information that we need to forge ahead. And so I will always tell people that you need to seek wisdom, knowledge at all times. Learn something every week. I try to learn something every day. These are part of the things that led me here. Learn something every day. Every single day of your life, take an information and not just take it. Own that information by processing it, chewing it on the inside, and let your spirit or your person become conscious of that thing that you have just received. Here at Marketplace Apostle, we sell knowledge. That is what we do here. We sell knowledge in five areas, which is business, career, leadership, personal finance, and life issues and relationships. So this is basically what we do here. Today I want to teach on life issues, because I do a lot of coaching, counseling, mentoring. And with this, I want to invite you on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. To those of you outside this country, I want to invite you especially to my mentoring and my coaching and counseling program and session on Wednesday by 4 p.m. West African time. All you just need to do if you want to participate is just send in your questions, and I will come live. I will pick it up from any of my DM, which are not here, and Marketplace Apostles. For those that know us as Make in Nigeria, it doesn't matter. Just put it out in any of those handles. We will pick it up and I will answer those questions. All you need to do is just come and just listen to it on Wednesday by 4 p.m. Also, we can have interactive sessions right there. You can send in questions. So those of you that don't know about it, you want to watch, fine, watch. But even during the sessions, if we don't have many questions, I can take your questions. So take this as a special invite to my Wednesday mentoring session. All right, so this evening I want to talk about a life issue. I call it trip to trap. Because a lot of people are tripping. A lot of people are tripping, and a lot of people are getting trapped from that trip. So it is about allowing yourself to be allowing yourself to trip so that you get trapped in it. So this is what I want to talk about today. God willing, we'll be able to share life testimonies and practical steps that you can use to overcome this trip to trap. Okay, so basically, let's just go into it. What are your fantasies? You can never be tripped. You can never trip on something that is not your fantasy. I know a friend that he has never drank alcohol in his life, never liked alcohol. Nothing about alcohol trips him, if we can use that. We usually use that in our when you talk to friends about you're tripping, and you are tripping for this, you're tripping for that, you're tripping for that girl, you're tripping for that boy. We use that, but most of the time before a trap there's a trip. Okay, so what are your fantasies? Like I was saying, my friend, he has never been, no matter amount of alcohol you bring to him is never going to be moved. But some people have something for alcohol. So, and when you tempt them along those lines, perhaps they can fall on not a very good day, on a day that is not very good for them. So, but usually we trip on our fantasies. So what are you need to be mindful? What are those things that you can say sweep you off your feet? What are those things that can make you trip? Do you know that you could fall into a trap and it can lead to a downfall? Your downfall concerning this. So it is from the trip that we get to the trap. Most people today are falling into online fraud activities, both the ones we call locally 419, and we have Nigeria and some other Africa. It's not only Nigerians are selling love, especially to advanced matured singles all over the world, and these people have no intentions of loving you. They are just using pseudonyms and just coming up with all manner of things to be able to get across to you. And a lot of people fall prey online. Also, a lot of people fall prey to products that never exist. A lot of people fall prey to Ponzi schemes and all manner of things online because at first they look so lucrative. You know, there's a lot of things that we see here in Nigeria. Packaging. We package a lot, and a lot of those people, a lot of fraudsters, they also package. They package, and from this packaging, they have an idea. You know, I heard the story of a fraudster that he said all the things that he does is that he also has tripped before in life. So what he does is that he will recall the instances that he fell, that he tripped, and he can now use it. He now uses those things to build for his own victims. So now is people have fallen victim, and they are now using that experience against others who are now also falling victim for themselves. And just because these things look attractive does not necessarily mean that you should fall for it. Okay, also tripping with the opposite gender is also a trap. Many people have lost a lot. Many people have lost their peace of mind. Many people have lost property. Many people have gone insane because some people, it takes them a long time to recover from heartbreak or certain things. Not because he's tall, dark, and handsome, with a good job and with all the perks that you're looking for necessarily means that he's a good partner. We have to not be in a hurry. We call this generation, I think it used to be millennials. Now we are talking about Generation Z, and everybody just wants everything fast. We call them the fast food generation. We just want everything fast. I meet you today, next week we're married, and the following week we're divorced. And so everything is just fast. Everything is just moving. We are going for the flashy. But all that glitters is not gold. The people or whoever came up with that statement, it's a fact. All that glitters is not gold. Example: you have 20 cars on the road. I'm racing, and I've been in a car race before. People were not looking at the cars that were even functioning well, or the engines could have the greater advantage, but they were looking at how flashy. People were making the judgment of performance based on flashy and how colorful these things are. So people get admiration. Now we know that if I can package, wear those things, and do some certain things, I can belong to a particular organization or a particular group of people. So everybody is trying to package themselves in such a way that they will fit in, even though they necessarily don't have the capacity for it. People write CVs, and you can get people that can write wonderful CVs for you, and when you go for the interview, people will be embarrassed. You will be embarrassed. The people where you have wasted their time, and they have wasted their own time listening to you, because the things you wrote on the interview, and they're asking you about it, and you cannot even make a complete statement because it wasn't you. And so a lot of things in this world, we just say a world of packaging, or a world of the more you look, the less you understand. A world of, I'm just looking for the name, where all you see is not all you get. And that is what is out there. Stop tripping. I will tell you guys to stop tripping, because after the trip comes the trap. And some of us can't get out of the trap. Some of us are not able to get out of the trap. And that in itself, it's dangerous. You can get out of the trap. Okay? And so you need to be very careful about tripping. So that is what I have come to tell us today. Don't trip so that you don't get trapped. All right? This topic we are going to look at this topic from two different perspectives. And the first is, trip to trap can otherwise mean a road to doom and destruction. And where the journey seems rosy at first, but it ends up very badly. Where the relationship looks very promising, but it ends up badly. Sometimes we look at your those of you from school, from junior high to senior high, secondary school, primary school, there were some people that were promising. Have you ever seen a classmate that was promising? A classmate that was the most likely to succeed, and you were not the group of people that they looked at as promising. Like, I know that I wasn't looked at as I didn't fall in the category of those that were promising. My teachers never thought so. And so, but I look at the people that were doing so well, they were calling them. I saw one that was a head boy, and I shook my head after 30 years, and the condition of which I saw him, I was like, God, this guy could have done so well. He was good in sciences. He had A1, he had 300 and something, close to 400 in JAM, and he went, we had scholarship, he had many, UNN, Unilag, IFE, Uniben, all of them were calling this guy at the same time. I don't know, I can't remember, I think he went to Unilag. And so the thing was, after everything, you thought that this guy is the most likely to succeed. So we can put all our bet and our money on this guy, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way. You know what happens between most likely to succeed and not succeeding is life happens to all of us. Life happens to all of us, and it's how we trip in the course of our lives, in the journey of life. If you're prone to tripping, you're going to be trapped. And once you're trapped, the people that are not tripping will pass you. They will overtake you. I remember I was in a religious gathering, and the pastor was preaching about overtakers anointing, and I'm releasing overtakers anointing on people. I said, yes, that is good. That's the spiritual aspect, that you release that anointing for overtakers anointing, but you also have to give them the sense to overtake. You have to give them tips that they will use, not just receive that impartation. And I'm by no means belittling anything spiritual. I don't. For those that know me, I don't. I'm a spiritual person. But I'm saying that after the spiritual work of cleaning the house, you also need to give people tips of how not to trip in life. Because you leave that place and you just go and trip because of something that looks fanciful before you, and you will fall. The second trap that people usually fall into, the second category is like can also be seen as an object with an enticing attribute. It can be a car, it can be a woman, it can be a man, but at the end of it, it leads to destruction. These are the two angles that I'm looking at it. It can be rosy. You can start things. A relationship can be rosy at first, but it ends badly. Or you are enticed. I think it's the book of James that said, God does not tempt anybody, but we are enticed by our desire. Okay, so you see a lady, you admire her. Most men admire ladies every day. Pastors, bishops, everybody you admire. But when you now let that object of admiration take you out, when you now begin to process it, by the time you begin to process it, you begin to give it life. If you process more than see a fine lady, and you begin to process it more and begin to think more, you are now opening up yourself. You are being led away by your desires, as the book of James says. You are led away because each thought you give to it, you're giving life to it. And as you're giving life to it, it will get to a point you will act. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. And by the time you start thinking, how do you know when somebody likes you? Or how do you know somebody has a crush on you? You see the person is smiling sheepishly, everything you say, they laugh. It's not because that you are funny. It's because internally they've processed it in such a way that they've already loved you before you started talking. So when you're talking, they're not listening to what you're saying. They're listening to what they have already programmed in their mind. That's why they are laughing at everything you do, not because you are that funny, that nice, or even that fine. It's because they've loaded themselves with those type of things, those type of thoughts and memories are inside of them. They are now influencing their actions when they see you as a person. As a man thinketh, so is he. From the abundance of the heart, they begin to speak. And they begin to speak favorably to you. They begin to tell you they love you because they have processed it in their mind. So you are not even in the picture. That loving you or being lusting after you or being attracted to you is something that they process in their mind. They allow their mind to do overtime with you. And when you allow your mind to go over time with those things, you are being drawn. It is drawing you. That is tripping. When you start processing those things in your mind, you're tripping. And it leads to a trap to love somebody because you have objectified that person, or you have placed that person, you have built an image of that person inside of you that they are not necessarily yours, they are not necessarily real. You see someone because you have allowed your emotions to do overtime on that person. You're not seeing that this person has anger issue. And I'm telling a lot of women, but let me tell women this because I don't know whether it affects men to that extent. So now you have built a lot, you know. A lady told me many times when we, many years ago, he said, look, you can be talking to a girl and she's laughing and you are, now can we go out to the cinema? She's thinking, and she's already thinking in her mind how many children you people are going to have, even grandchildren, and she's already envisioning that in her mind. So you are taking it easy. One date, but she's already reached grandma stage. So you see that she's already built those things inside of her. So anything that you're doing, she's already excited. You have pass mark because before you even came, you had no input into it. She has just built up that emotions and that image. And she's not seeing that you have anger issue. So when you enter into the marriage and you begin to slap her and beat her, she doesn't know where she is coming from because she has been tripping all this while. And when you're tripping, you are not in touch with reality. I think it's the book of Proverbs 14, Proverbs chapter 14 verse 12. It says there's a way that seems right to a man, but you know what? It leads to death. You know, most men are apprehended and taken away by their trips, which is your weakness. See, we must all do a SWOT analysis of our lives. I do a SWOT analysis every year, sometimes twice every year. You know why? Because people evolve. At least my wife can testify to that. I have evolved. This 19 years, I have evolved. I'm not that person she met 20 years ago. I'm not. I've evolved. And so you have to continually check your strengths and weaknesses. I want to say I know most of my weaknesses. And one of my strengths is able to know how to cope with my weaknesses. That is my strength. I know the place of my strength. So I don't bother too much on the place of my strength. All I do is to read up things that can make me stronger, that can make me better positioned to use my strength. But I bother on my weaknesses. And my weaknesses, I know where I'm weak. You know, sometimes we are ashamed of saying we are weak in this area. It's somebody that doesn't want to go far. When you start taking yourself very seriously and taking your future and your destiny very seriously, you know what happens? You begin to know your weaknesses. You might not be able to change your weaknesses. You can't change yourself. Every man has his own weaknesses. But you can adapt. Know how to adapt to mitigate the effect of that weakness in your life. Example for me, I'm not a very good host. So, anything outside the things that I like, not the things that I like, my work is in the 5 core areas. We call it the 5-fold ministry or marketplace apostle: business, career, leadership, personal finance, marriage and life issues. Those are the things I talk about. So if you're not speaking on those things, I might not necessarily be there with you. And my body might be there, but my spirit is not there. And I don't know how to hold long conversations if it's not in these areas. So it's a weakness. But someone, how will I put it? Somebody like me, that I'm in the face of people all the time. And also my other work outside this, I have to continually meet people. And some of them, if not most of them, are influential people. And these people, you have to treat them in a certain way. And so you have to have visitors. You have to visit and you'll be visited. So I've learned that it's important that those etiquettes are in place. So I don't host without my wife, because my wife is a great host. She can talk, do all those small talks. She can help me when I've run out of words. That's one. The second one is that I'm a visionary. I live in the future until I divorce the future and my past. But that's a topic for another day. I am driven by that thing I want to achieve, to the extent that I forget about the present. So I need my wife to tell me we are living in the present. I surround myself with people, and she helps me to bring me back to earth. And I appreciate her for that. But earlier on in the marriage, I used to be irritated by it. Can this woman see that I am driven, I want to achieve this? But the children have to go to school. We have to build a house or pay rent. Or we have to have time for the children. We have to have holidays. We have to take our time. And those things are bringing me back to earth. I cannot be on the air, flying in the vision. She brings me back. And after a while, sense came to me that this woman is helping me see both sides. So I appreciate that for that. And he brought us closer in terms of now I share my vision and she flies with it, but she also connects me down to earth. Let me not be in the spiritual realm all the time. Another thing is I'm a visionary. I'm a hands-on person. So because I am driven by the passion to succeed, I might not be a good executor. I am a good executor for people's projects, but I might not necessarily be a good executor for my own project, because if that thing is how much? 1 million. Put it in there. I want it working. But an executor can do it with 100,000. So sometimes it's not good to let visionary run certain things. So I realized early that I need executors. Executors don't have the burden of the vision. They understand a part of it, but they don't have the burden of the vision. Like you, vision is like addiction. It's like you're on heroin, and if that thing is not working well, you are being agitated. Some of you listen to you have a vision you want to achieve, so sometimes you behave like somebody that is on drugs. I can give everything I have to make this work move, but is it wise? It's not wise. So I've learned to surround myself with executioners. Also, I have a great apostolic calling. I have that Pauline apostolic calling. My wife thinks that maybe I'm an African version or modern day version of Paul. I want to move. I have that. But you see that the apostolic and the prophetic, they go hand in hand. And at some point, I need to realize that if two of them don't work in sync, you might not be able to achieve. I have a prophetic gift, but you see, if you have that apostolic and you have a prophetic, the apostolic will less achieve. Even when the voice of reasoning is coming, that you're no longer doing God's work, you're doing your work. You know, sometimes you have to have people that will speak into your life, that will hear and say, don't go. So you have to have people close to you. Thank God my wife functions in that capacity as well. Because visionaries, listen to me, you are chipping 24/7. That's why you can carry money and put it into a Ponzi scheme, because you're expecting it to come so that you can further go on, and that is error. It looks attractive, enticing, but guys, stop chipping. Let's come down to reality. I've given you 3 points. There are many, but this is not my core. Or maybe I will have to do, if my people remind me, I have to do weaknesses, how to cope with your weaknesses. And I'm just going to use my life experiences and show how. I was born an introvert, very shy. I knew that I wanted to speak. I knew I was seeing visions of myself speaking to large crowds. Even when I was 7, 8, 9, I see myself speaking to crowds and men wearing suits around, and I'm just floating and I'm speaking to them. So when I tell people, they will laugh. They didn't see it. But you see, I know I had a weakness. So I knew that I had to overcome it. I had to. Who you see now is not who I used to be. So people can evolve to become who they are. So people that say, that's how I am, I can't change, is a lie. You are in error. You can change and become. You can change for the better. I have to change so that I'll be able to do this work. Because as I'm changing, the gift of God is increasing. Now I speak without preparation. With all humility, I say this. Because now the Holy Spirit takes over and speaks for me. But it didn't start when my tongues used to be tied. I used to be afraid I couldn't talk. Once you agree, the whole universe will agree with you. But they say the day you say, no, I'm tired of being an introvert, I want to speak to the world, that day you will still be an introvert, but you also become an extrovert when you want to, an introvert when you want to. It's now your choice. So me, I play with both legs. I still like to withdraw, be on my own, and not go out for days. But I also know that I need to go out and I speak to people and I make friends and I for the work, sake of the work. So I'm an extrovert, I crack jokes. All of a sudden, I'm with people, I'm learning how to crack, not learning how to crack jokes. People tell me another work I should have done is to be a comedian, that I can make people laugh, I can crack, make people comfortable. See, I had to do that for me to be, that is the extrovert side that can get the work done, because you can't be somebody that is unfriendly. The Bible says if you want to have friends, you have to make yourselves friendly. If you have to know influential people, anybody, you have to put yourself in a position that you can connect with them. Humor, gifts, and all those things, they help to forge, move ahead. Okay, maybe I will do another topic on weakness. You can overcome your weakness, or you position yourself and position people around you like I have done that will help you in the area of weakness. If not, you will not be able to go that far. Your strength will take you to a certain level, but that completion, that missing link, your weaknesses, if you don't know how to work it out, you won't be able to go that far. And that's what we need to learn. And that's what we need. So maybe I will do that training. So let me give you 5 ways to overcome this trap. 5 ways to overcome the trap of tripping. The first one is identification. In mathematics and problem solving generally, you cannot provide a solution without first identifying the problem. Knowing a thing, you have to first of all identify the problem. And permit me to use my weaknesses, as I have said. I've given you 3, so I will build the rest of this presentation on them. I had to identify that I had a problem in speaking. I have a problem in keeping friends. I have a problem in not keeping friends, making friends, be able to do the things that I want to do. So I did courses on customer care. I did courses on negotiation skills. I did courses on, you name it. I associated myself with people that them being close to me can open me up to that. Paul was with prophets and he prophesied. Let me tell you, sometimes you can be with funny people and you start being funny. You can be with serious-minded people, you start being serious if you were not serious before. The birds of a feather, they flock together. When you hang out with people you want to be like. So that was the first thing I did when in the areas where I decided, be true to yourself, be true. Guy, you can't do this. You are a shy person. You can't do this. It's when you identify yourself. Because I said to myself, I want to marry a certain kind of lady, but shyness didn't allow me until I had to deal with it. I had to be able to cope with it. That doesn't leave you. Shyness will leave you for the rest of your life, but you decide you now have a way to cope with it that is no longer a problem for you. So you have to identify the areas where you're weak. Be true to yourself. Write it down. Even if you don't show everybody, be true to yourself. You know, the reason why you need to have a mentor. You have a mentor in an area. I have different kinds of mentors in different kinds of areas. And I think I've said it here before. I have a mentor in relationship. I have someone, a mentor in how to earn. I have a mentor in how to earn online. I have a mentor in how to how to handle government, how to break into government settings, and how to handle those kind of people. There are people that will show you ropes. When you realize that, look, you have tried, you can't, then maybe you now need to sit down and find out what is the problem with me not being able to get ahead. Listen, it's not your stepmother. It's not every time that is your stepmother. It's not every time that is witches from the village. Sometimes it's just those weaknesses. And you know, God in his infinite wisdom has put those hurdles. That the more you scale these hurdles, the more you go up. So there is not the witch in your village. It's actually the way God has written your script. And if you're able to pass that weakness, as I did, today I'm speaking to you. If you had known me before, you know I would never be able to look at you in the face and speak to you. So is it God that did it to me? But the day I said no, you know, God gave us a way of escape like he gave to Esau. Say the day you're tired, you break away that yoke from the neck of your brother. And it's a universal law that applies everywhere. The day Africa we are tired of this yoke upon us, we will break it. Nigeria, the day we are tired of this political yoke upon us, we will break it. The power to break through it is in us. It's not external. It is within. So the power to, and it starts from identifying ourselves, our problems, and once we can identify our problems, then we will now know what to do. Knowing a thing will give you a better understanding on how to approach it. Once you identify your weakness, identify the problem, then the approach now becomes the approach now becomes clearer. You know, there are deadly traps unknown to many until destruction is achieved, where it might be too late for us to be able to come out of it. So once you can identify that, I don't really follow, you know, some people say something is telling me, something just told me, I feel like, no, for me, I call it what it is. That is the Holy Spirit that is nudging you and telling you, daughter, son, don't go that way. You are feeling that you shouldn't do this, but you do it. You know, every day, you see, I tell people that you cannot die except you know everybody that wants to die, everybody that wants to come into harm's way, you are being warned in one way or the other. It's like, one is that you're not spiritually discerning enough to understand what is happening to you, or when those things happen to you, you are misinterpreting it. But there's always a warning. Some of us overlook the warning. Some of us don't even know that warning is there. You know, we just carry on our lives like that until it's too late. But when we understand that we have identified our problems, what our challenges are, then we can now know the right approach to take. So the second way to overcome traps from tripping is to know the right approach. Now, it's one thing to know a thing, it's another thing to know the right how to handle that situation. So like I said, I took courses, I talked to mentors, I associated myself with the right kind of crowd, and that helped me to be able to break through. You know, there's something, peer pressure can be negative. You know, most times we say peer pressure is negative, but peer pressure can also be positive, but it's more negative than positive. How do I mean? I started hanging around with people my age and younger than me that were successful doing things. And I was like, how are they doing this that I can't do it? How are they getting these jobs that I can't? How are they getting this right business? How? You can't be far from those people. Try as much as possible to know one or two of those people and be intentional about getting into their cliques and be intentional about doing the things that they do. I mean positive things, not bad things. There are certain things. Successful people live a certain lifestyle. So when you see somebody telling you, I wake up 3:30, 4 in the morning, don't look at it that, is this guy crazy? You know, I have friends then that will say, I'm doing meditation, I do yoga, it helps me to calm down. Some of these things that I'm doing now, when I was told these things 20-something years ago, I thought they were crazy. When I was told about saving money, if you can't be rich, it was a friend of mine, 2 years younger than me, that told me, if you can't save, you can't be rich. I said, my friend, go away. Who God has blessed, he has blessed, money will come. It was only 20 years after I realized that that guy was right. He understood money. He understood what investment was. He understood it. And he followed it and he became successful. So, once you know your problem, why you are not earning, why you are not attracting the right kind of man, the right kind of woman, why you are not attracting the right kind of friends, and if you do something about it, you will come out of it. Identify that you know the right kind of approach. It's not everybody that can help you. How can you be going to a broke uncle to advise you about money? How? Sometimes people take advice from their uncle that is broke, that died broke, what he said about money. No, take advice from somebody that is successful. And people tell me, I have people that can teach me how to be successful, but they are in a bad marriage. Shouldn't that, why should I go to somebody that is not complete? I tell them, I have mentors that are not Christians, that are not believers. I have mentors that teach me how the person I learned from. I entered into an organization because I want somebody to teach me how to handle certain class of people and certain organization, governmental and otherwise. So I have a mentor that being in that association and working with him, I'm learning. So I have a mentor about how to live a Christian marriage, live in a Christian marriage. I know what I want from this guy. I know what I want from this guy. And I don't let that other aspect of his life, I don't like the person I'm talking about is a nice person, wonderful person, good morals, but he's not a believer. He does whatever he does, but he's a good person. So now he's teaching me certain things, but I don't associate with that his other kind of lifestyle that I don't agree with. But I can't say because of that I will not learn from him. I have a spiritual leader that I speak to. I have a spiritual leader that speaks into me, and and I have also a leader in that direction, in that other aspect that is leading me to understand. Because where I'm going, I need many fathers, many mentors to help me get there. And God will not come down and teach you those things. Men will teach you. He will lead you to those things. I belong in an organization. That organization is not a Christian organization, but the Holy Spirit led me to it. People will teach you how to earn money. People will teach you how to earn online. People will teach you, and it has nothing to do with them as a person, their life. Take what you can from them, because teaching and coaching is seasonal. It has expiring date. It's not forever. So when you know your weakness, go to the right people to help you come out of it, so that you will not fall into traps. Relationships. If you have the right mentor, I told a guy many years ago, he got a lady. I said, come, do you like fat women? He said, no. I said, is your mother fat? Do you have a... He said he doesn't like fat women. Not that he likes very slim. But I said, will you be able to live with a fat woman? He said, no, he cannot. I said, but this lady you brought to me, can't you see? Is it that love is blinding your eyes? Can't you see that the tendency to add weight is there? She will gain this weight because it's there for us to see. And you know that when a woman gives birth, she can't remain the same. Women, I'm just trying to please. I'm not trying to say anything negative. I'm just trying to use facts. It's just the facts. I'm not trying to body shame anybody. I'm just trying to say the way it is. And I'm just saying, look, this woman has, or let me say it correctly, because women, I don't want to be in your bad books. I told her, I said, see, this lady has a tendency to be plus size. He said, no. I said, are you not seeing? He said, no, and moreover, she watches diet, this. I said, okay, fine. That's the only thing I saw. 5 years down the line, this lady is plus size. And every day is, some people naturally tend towards gaining weight, or some people come from families that they can't help it. That is what I saw. He didn't see it. Some families, they have it, like they say in our local parlance, they have it in their body, it's in their family for them to be that size. No offense, please. I'm just trying to make a point. 5 years down the line, she's plus size. And he was registered her in gym, did this. I say, guy, come. Leave this woman alone. Leave her alone. Let her diet. Leave her alone. Didn't I tell you? He said, yes. But she left herself. I say she did not leave her. Sorry, she did not leave herself. That look at the handwriting on the wall. You didn't see it. Love is blind. You must love, or you must see it. You must continue. I say, leave her alone. You can't change. Have you not seen her family? Have you not seen her mother? Have you not seen her sisters? Have you not seen her aunties? Can't you see that some people have that penchant for it? I say, leave this woman. You have already seen it. That's some of the things where mentors come in handy. And he left the woman. Guess what? 10 years or 12 years after, because the husband is not disturbing her, she by herself now is coming down. She's coming down because she says no, she wants to live long, she wants to be fit. Now the husband is telling her, I don't care which size you are, I just want you. You see, because he left her, it was no longer an issue. In her own time, because she knows she's advancing, also she wants to come down. But that was a source of worry for him, and he was going about it the wrong way. Also, I had when you identify your problem, then you know the right approach and who to go to. And a guy came to me. I said, my wife doesn't talk. As in, my wife should tell me I am the one talking. I said, can't you see that your wife is an introvert? You decided to marry her, so you have to learn how to bring out the talk from her. You have to learn how to start talking to her from the point that she likes, make talk, and help her. Some people are like that. I say it's not her fault, and I gave him instances. I say, look, I understand what you're going through. You are frustrated that you are the one that is talking and talking. This person is not talking. This is the way to go. this is the way to do. Today, dear friend, I know she can never be that chatterbox that you want. You are a chatterbox. How can she be one? And sometimes that we opposite attract. So you are what your wife is not. But guess what? He stopped talking to her, but the woman enjoys hearing him because she cannot. She actually married him because he talks too much and she doesn't talk. But now he expects her to be talking, but she cannot. So it was a serious problem, and the guy was ready to walk because he saw it. He was only seeing it from one angle, that this marriage is boring. By the time I brought out things and I gave him the instances, I said, look, this is the right approach, this. His eyes opened and he realized, oh, okay, this is the way it is. Sometimes things might look big, very big, but when you get the right advice, they begin to shrink and you'll be able to handle it. So what I'm saying is that if you can identify the problem, then you will know the right approach, the right place to get the right kind of mentor that can help you see through it. The third point I want to talk about how to overcome traps is stop ignoring signs. I have said it. The first two things that, like the guy I was talking about, I told him that, you see, this lady has that propensity to become plus size. He didn't see it, and it was just like some of us are ignoring certain signs. And when you ignore certain signs, especially internal signs, you want to do something with someone and your spirit is unsettled, don't do it. Take out time. Take time out. Some people are smooth talkers. When somebody want to sell something to you and he's a smooth talker, but your spirit is unsettled. We call it, we say, this person has sweet mouth because he's just telling you all the sweet things. Both in relationship, both in sales, you meet those type of people. But if your spirit is unsettled, please, it's a sign. It's not something telling you, it's the Holy Spirit warning you. Like I said, when danger is coming your way, you can have a dream. Some people they have dreams, they don't remember, they've not trained themselves on how to understand. They have dreams, they don't even bother to go for interpretation. They don't cancel those dreams, they don't do the things they need to do. Warning signs. You can get up, you want to travel, for instance. The vehicle is bad, you miss your flight, a series of things are happening to you. Why don't you just stop that journey and just say, look, I know it's money, I know it's something important, but the universe is fighting me from going to that place. Maybe I should take time out and really fully appreciate and assess what is happening. A dear pastor, which we all saw video clips of, that died recently, was just talking about how he couldn't sleep, his heart was, he had pain and all those things, very cold and all those things, but yet he still embarked on that journey, and at the end of the day, he didn't come out very well. And so you don't have to wait for things to get that bad. If you get signs, please, it's only someone that is alive that can make money. It's only someone that is alive that can meet up with appointments and do projects. So when you get that sign, for me, I don't play with signs. Not signs. When I let me call it what it is, spirit. I don't play, because the Bible tells me my spirit, his spirit, the Holy Spirit will bear witness with my spirit that I'm the Son of God. And also it tells me that as many as are led by the Spirit, these are sons of God. Romans 8:14 changed my whole perspective in life. As many as are led by the Spirit of God, these are the sons of God. So I am led by the Spirit, not by sight, but by the Spirit. So not by sight, not by feelings, because feelings can kill. But I'm led by the Spirit. I'm led not by what I see, not by sight, enticing words of men, enticing bodies, or enticing physique, enticing cars, whatever that could be enticing to you. I'm not led by that, but I'm led by the Spirit. There's life that comes from us being led by the Spirit. And listen, successful people are spiritual people. Whether you belong to them, they are Christians or not, they're in one, they're in your faith or not. But let me tell you, most spiritual people, most successful people are spiritual. You just don't know the aspect of spirituality they deal with. Success and spirituality, they go hand in hand. Because many things I can tell you about your spiritual work aiding your financial, your success life. They go hand in hand. So don't ignore signs. God doesn't want you to be in pain. Don't ignore signs. Rather, interrogate signs. And the way you can interrogate signs is through prayer, meditation. When series of things are happening, I shut down and I just think through it. Then you call one or two trusted people and tell them, this is happening, what do you think? Then at the end of the day, you pray about it. There's no way the Holy Spirit will not whisper into you, don't go or don't do this or don't do that. Don't marry this person. Don't go ahead with this. Don't ignore signs. They are powerful. It's what we call discerning spirits. For you to be discerning, to have discernment. Women have a lot of discernment by nature for their own protection and security, preservation, protection. You know, God gave them a strong discerning spirit. A woman can look at a man and tell you, a wife can look at a husband and say, you see, this man is not your friend. Listen to her. Women can sense a lot of evil because God gave them discernment to protect them. To protect them from evil, from the evil world. Because they could be prey. You know, so they have a lot of discernment. And when a woman tells you something, try as much as possible to interrogate it. Just don't brush it aside. Signs. You know, and if you're married, listen to your wife. They have great discerning spirits. They have great discernment. Rather, let me put it that discernment. I've learned to not argue with my wife in some certain cases. I just accept. Because I cannot hear, I don't feel it, I don't get it the way she does. You know, and she tells me, be careful of this person. Most of the time, if not all the time, I get to see the reason why. Because she has a strong discerning spirit, and God has given it to all women. And women that haven't noticed or realized it is because you haven't developed it. How do you develop something? By use, by frequent usage. Yeah, just like prophets, you want to prophesy, you have to keep prophesying and don't be deterred when one or two of your prophecies don't go, if you know that that's your calling, until you begin to get into the flow. So everything comes with usage and exercise. And so I will tell people that, see, if you want to stop, or rather stop ignoring signs and surround yourself with people that can speak into you. Married men, listen to wives. Is sometimes it can save you from falling into a trap. Okay, the fourth sign, as I'm rounding up, is to put your emotions on the check. Do not easily give in to temptation. When you're tempted, separate yourself from that object of temptation. Separate yourself for a while. When you're tempted with enticing words, appearance, and actions of people or things, separate yourself first. Control, put that response to stimuli. Control it first. And watch. You know, when you come to me and say, please, this business is like, if you don't do it now, you will lose out. I will tell you, let me lose out. If you bring something to me, be willing to give me 3 days minimum. Some I'll tell you 7 days. Some I'll tell you 2 weeks. Some I'll tell you 21 days. Let me go back and think about it. I've been given a job that was very tempting. I didn't take it because I didn't rush. They wanted me to rush and sign before I left town. I said, let me go home first and let me come back. The person that took it, EFCC came to carry that person, because the terms of which they gave that job, the person, couldn't wait. He collected it, and he collected the name of his company, and he's suffering for it today. This was many years ago, like close to 20 years. So it's not something, not close to 20 years, but it's been a long time. Control your emotions. When you're angry, hold yourself. Watch that thing you say. Because those words, once it comes out, is no longer your words. You can hold a bad feeling, a bad thought towards somebody, but it's your own. But the day you tell that person that thing, it's no longer your own. That thing can be recalled. You see our politicians, they say something, I will never cross carpet. But today they have done so. And I will never do this, I will never do that. But today they bring those words, and those words shame them. Not that they have much of shame anyway, but those words, they shame them, but they still continue. Control your emotions, control your temper, control your greed. Greedy people always fall into the trap. Greedy people are always tripping, and they fall into the trap. Stop being greedy. Stop being greedy. Greedy people usually fall into this trap. Okay, the fifth and final one is know your weakness, hide it from the world, know your strength, expose it to the world. Blow your trumpet on your strength and on your weakness. Find ways that can shield you from your weakness. Surround yourself with people that your weakness is their strength, and so it looks as if you're invincible. You're not. It's just that people that have strength, when you want to employ or come into partnership with anybody, let that partner be in your area of weakness, not in your area of strength. If not, two of you will not be able to do anything. Let it be opposite. Opposites attract each other. So let it be somebody that his strength is your place of weakness, so that you can have stronger bonds with one another. Okay, so hide your weaknesses, but work on it, but expose your strength to the world. Okay, let me try and summarize in this way. Is it possible to get out of a trap? Most times it's very difficult. In fact, the chances are very slim. Maybe 1 out of 10 cases. So you see that it's very bad. Stop tripping, because just 1 out of 10 cases, or 1 out of 10 people are lucky that tripped and they escaped that trap, or they were trapped, they came out of it. But even if you trip and you're trapped and you come out of it, you come out of it with scars. You lose something. So why get into it at all? So is it only possible to get out of a trip? Is it possible to get out of a trip when you haven't been caught too deep in the net? Yes, you can save yourself before you are caught too deep. Once you are enticed, withdraw yourself from that object that is enticing you and critically interrogate whatever it is. Let your soul saturate that thought or idea. Pray about it. Connect to the higher being, whichever one you call on to. Connect to them and try and see that you get it right. Because the pain, you see, the pain of getting married to somebody, to the wrong person rather. Wow. I know people that are in pain. There's no domestic violence, but they're in hell. They're in hell. It's not only when there is domestic violence that there is problem in the marriage. You know, those silent killers, silent things that kill, they're even worse than the physical one you see. Some men, some women are living in hell because they got it wrong. You see, marriage can be heaven on earth. It can also be hell on earth. So we need to get it right. Stop tripping just over tall, dark, and handsome, and vice versa. Stop tripping so you don't fall into a trap. Interrogate things. Take time out. Seek out for a mentor. Look for a mentor. Look for people that can help you overcome your weaknesses. Not overcome your weaknesses, but try to find ways that your weaknesses doesn't slow you down. Take it easy. We are so much in a hurry in this generation, in this time. I will advise millennials. I will advise also generation Z people. Take it easy. It's not all as it all that glitters is gold. It's not all you see that is there. So let us try as much as possible to slow down before we take some decisions. Stop tripping, guys, so that you don't fall into a trap. Well, I've come to the end of my presentation this evening, but before you go, I just want to tell for those of you that this presentation is, I think it's well over 1 hour. If you want to get the full presentation, please, you will see there's an ebook. I have an ebook coming out on this. So the full presentation, please, you follow the link. You get the ebook, and also the video and the audio will also be out, but the ebook will come out. So you choose the ebook, you choose the audio, you choose the video, whichever one you want. So please just click on the link before you, and you can just have the ebook. We need to hear things like this. We need to hear life issues that can help us. So if this presentation, just get the full presentation, and I'm sure it will be a blessing to you. All right. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Coming live with me this Monday morning. This Monday evening. I want to specially invite you guys for my Wednesday mentoring. I mentor, I coach, and I counsel all at one, all in one, depending on the questions. All you need to do is just ask me a question, put it out in my DM, whichever one, Marketplace Apostle, whichever team. Even if you know us as Making Nigeria, put it out there. It's not a problem. I will come Wednesday, 4 p.m. West African time, and I will answer that. Until I see you on Wednesday, special invitation, Wednesday, 4 p.m. I hope to see you. Have a great time. Have a great day. God bless you all.